Sus chords are harmonically unstable, which gives them an ethereal, magical, weightless quality. So it was no shock to discover that a song about a scorned witch taking to the sky and risking everything in the process is teeming with these types of chords. Today I'm talking about why I fucking love Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked. Premiering in 2003, the music and lyrics for Wicked were written by Stephen Schwartz, or Stephen Trask if you're a Hedwig fan. It's an undeniably epic song, and there's so much going on, so let's just jump in. As I mentioned, Defying Gravity is full of sus or sustained chords. Basic triads are made of the root, 3, and 5. Whether the 3 is a minor third or a major third tells you whether it's a major or minor chord. The major triad is very stable harmonically, and the minor triad is less so. But sus chords don't employ a 3 at all, and are even more unstable as a result. A sus chord employs the root, 4, and 5, and a sus 2, fittingly, uses the 1, 2, and 5. Without the 3, these chords are neither major or minor. They just kind of float. Schwartz also employs a lot of open chords, or power chords, which are just the 1 and the 5. That's even less musical information, and sort of just implies a chord. Listen to the intro of the song. There's a D-flat power chord, our tonic, followed by a quick jump to an A-flat, back to the D-flat, and landing on a G-flat sus2. Then we get this delicate little arpeggio of an open D-flat chord to lead us into the first verse. The verse just moves between the open D-flat chord and the G-flat sus2. Sometimes we see the major triad for D-flat sneak in, but it's supported in the bass by the third rather than the root. Then we get the D-flat note supported by a C-flat sus2, really emphasizing that too. This whole song just twinkles with all of these unstable chords, but it also has a lot of motion in the bass notes. If we go back to the intro with the open D-flat, A-flat major, and G-flat sus2, we might expect these chords to be supported by, D-flat, A-flat, and G-flat, respectively. But instead, the bass line ascends from D-flat to E-flat to F to G-flat, creating an open D-flat, an A-flat over E-flat, D-flat over F, and finally, the G-flat sus. Later, as we're setting up for the chorus, we have a familiar group of chords: D-flat, G-flat 5, D-flat, and A-flat sus. The bass isn't going D-flat, G-flat, A-flat. Again, it's walking up from the D-flat to E-flat, F, G-flat, and A-flat, landing on B-flat. This linear upward motion that represents Elphaba's ascent and subtly increases the energy as the song takes flight, literally and figuratively. Note, though, that when it lands on B-flat, it does so with probably the most delicate, unstable chord of the whole song, a B-flat minor 7, no 5. You know it's serious when a chord has no 5. This chord is maximally unstable. Notice how the melody lands on the part of the chord that's the least stable. The chorus ends on the tonic, D-flat, the first time over an open D-flat chord, but the second time it's supported by A major in the key of E major. That's an A, a C sharp, and an E. As you can see, a C sharp is the same thing as a D-flat. So we're landing on what should be our home note, but the rug has kind of been pulled out from under it, and what used to be a 1 is now a 6. That's why the transition into this interlude feels really jarring. Also note that arpeggiated E major 7 chord in the background. When we enter the next chorus, we've changed the key from E major to B major. Then, as we're transitioning out into our final chorus, we hear our opening chord progression in the key of B major, and then really epically bumps up a whole step, which from B major is C sharp major or D flat. So we're home again. We went from D flat up to E, then to the 5th of E, B, and then home again by bumping up a whole step. Before I wrap up, I just want to comment on the huge vocal range of this song. It's just over 2 octaves, and it has this killer vocal leap a couple times in the song that jumps from A-flat-3 to D-flat-4. Which is well over an octave and really punctuates that everyone. With those twinkling chords, moving bass, wide vocal range, and lots of key changes, this song just rocks. That's why I